All right, so in this video, I'm going to talk about our good friend percent error. And the idea with percent error is just that sometimes you're off by a little bit. And it's hard to compare how off you are unless you look at it as a percentage. So, for example, imagine that I'm trying to measure a mile and I'm trying to measure it in centimeters. So, what I'll do is there are a lot of centimeters in a mile. Let's say that I measure a mile and I say that 1 mile equals 161,16100 centimeters. I'm going to approximate it, so I'll do the squiggly equals. And then I say over here that 1 yard is, let's see, how many centimeters are in a yard? 1 yard is, let's say that's 100 centimeters there. I'm off on both of these. I'm off by a little bit on both of these. And the best way to compare how off I am is using percent error. So according to my good friend Google, a yard is actually, this is called your approximate value. A yard is actually 91.44 centimeters. That's my exact value. Whereas a mile is actually equal to 160,934. So if I think about how far off I was, when I looked at 1 yard, I was 8.56 centimeters off. And I got that by doing approximate minus exact. When I look at a mile, though, I was, what is that, 66 centimeters off? So, in one respect, you could say my measurement of the mile was less accurate. I was 66 centimeters off. I was like 7 or 8 times less accurate. I had a bigger error. But that's where we use our percent error formula. So, here's the percent error formula, subtracting the exact value and then dividing by the exact value and multiplying by 100% there. And what this will show you is that I was actually a lot closer to measuring the mile precisely than I was to measuring the yards precisely. So, to show you how to do it with the miles, I'll do approximate, so 161,000 minus exact, 160,934 divided by exact. The absolute value bars just make sure my answer is positive, and then I multiply by 100%. Feel free to use one of these calculators. If you're doing it on your phone, do it in steps. Do the subtraction first, like this. So I hit enter after hitting the subtraction, 66 centimeters off. Then I divide by 160,934. I get this thing with the E on it. Remember, the E is our scientific notation. And then I multiply by 100, and the calculator says this. So that means I am 0.04% error. That's how far off I was for a mile. Now, if I look at it as a yard, I would do the same basic thing, 100 minus 91.44 divided by 91.44 times 100%. So 100 minus 91.44, 8.56, divide by 91.44, this value right there, times by 100, and I get 9.36%. So what this is telling you is that I was 9% off on my measurement of a yard, but I was only 0.04% off on my measurement of a mile, even though I was a lot more centimeters off when I measured the mile. It's a more accurate measure because as a percentage, the error was so much smaller. The other example we gave was thinking about like money and how much you tip. If you tip the same amount for two different meals, but one of them costs a lot more, that's a much smaller tip. Even though it's the same amount of money, if you tip it for a large meal, it doesn't count as much of a percent. So it's the same idea with percent error. It's not about how many centimeters off you are or how many inches off you are. It's about the percent error that you have. So please comment or ask questions if there's anything that was confusing or if you just want more examples. Thanks.